This is for the movie?
The light's still on, though. The light's still on, though.
This is still bad, bro.
What movie is this?
Bad. Snow White.
Rachel Zegler had an experience of her life when she watched her own film in a nearly empty theater with only a few friends for company. That's a worst nightmare for any actor.
Play the clip and tell folks, if you watch this, tell me if this is attractive to you. Tell me if this is attractive to you. Like, does this, imagine you invested into her being the face of the movie and she's the main character and she's trying to promote the movie. Would this make you want to go watch the movie when she's starring in it and she's the main character? Go ahead, Rob, play the clip.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
She's a good actress.
that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
The ego on this girl is ridiculous.
Wow.
On March 25th, 2025, Rachel Zegler and her friends Ella Mason, George Mason, Remy and Maria Isabel de Mason went to see the film. The theater was so empty that it felt like a ghost town. One of her friends, Ilda, even shared the moment on Instagram. She recorded Rachel's name appearing on the screen while Rachel awkwardly cheered for herself. The empty seats surrounding them made the moment even more painful. It wasn't clear if they had rented the theater or if no one else had bought tickets, but the lack of audience was shocking. They tried to make the most of it by following a viral trend.
Please?
For which movie?
They asked a theater employee for 2 tickets, please, while holding Snow White-themed popcorn buckets, only for the worker to ask, for which movie? The confusion on their faces was caught on camera and quickly went viral.
It's around $700 million just to break even, because theaters keep 50% of the gross. So what this means is that we are on our way to the biggest box office flop in the history of Disney.
Rachel was holding a bouquet of flowers, possibly from her friends, as a sympathy gift, since the box office was not giving her any rewards. The numbers confirmed the failure. The movie made only $3.5 million in Thursday previews and opened with just $43 million during the weekend. Compared to The Little Mermaid remake, which made $95 million in its opening weekend, Snow White's performance was terrible. Even the live-action Dumbo movie, which also struggled, made about the same amount but had a much lower budget. The biggest issue was the film's cost. Disney spent over $250 million in production, and that didn't even include marketing expenses.
This is for the movie?
The light's still on, though. The light's still on, though.
This is still bad, bro.
What movie is this?
Bad. Snow White.
Is the movie playing or is that a commercial?
That's the you know the lights on. This the preview. The lights are gonna be off if the movie was playing.
Well, she could have possibly been early. And
7:15.
Man, let's
Not 10 p.m. anymore.
Social media was flooded with images of empty theaters, seating charts showing unsold tickets, and audience members sitting completely alone. Some people online even joked about starting a GoFundMe campaign to help Disney recover from the losses.
Who hates when I win. The winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Adding to this disaster, a clip of Rachel Zegler resurfaced, making things worse. In the video, she confidently stated that people would line up to see her movies. The reality, however, was the opposite. Instead of long lines at theaters, the internet was filled with people mocking her statement. One woman wrote, "Welcome back to reality, princess." Snow White was a complete flop. Critics did not hold back either. Ein Mills Cheong reminded everyone that Snow White was officially Disney's worst performing live-action remake in decades. Even within the industry, the failure did not go unnoticed. Jonah Platt, the son of the movie's producer Mark Platt, criticized Rachel Zegler for damaging the film's success. He revealed that his father had to fly out personally to warn her about her controversial statements, which were hurting the movie's promotion. Despite these warnings, Rachel continued making bold political statements, causing further trouble.
Rachel Zegler just had one of the most disliked trailers in history with Snow White, but now after all the controversy, she's come out slamming Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler first met doing the movie Shazam 2 together, which was a massive flop, making only $134 million on a budget of $125 million, meaning it had $150 million in losses. Then after that, it was announced they'd be starring in Snow White, which got a lot of controversy because Snow White is set in Germany, while Rachel Zegler is half Colombian and Gal Gadot is Israeli.
One major problem was Rachel's relationship with her co-star Gal Gadot, who played the evil queen. While they seemed friendly during filming, things became awkward during the movie's promotion. At the 2025 Oscars, they presented an award together, but later, Rachel made a comment on Instagram calling Gal a professional pageant queen. Many people saw this as a passive-aggressive insult. Their attention wasn't just professional, it was also political. Rachel openly supported Palestine, while Gal, an Israeli actress who served in the Israeli army, faced backlash because of her background. Rachel's political post reportedly put Gal in danger, and Disney had to spend extra money on security for her. Insiders revealed that Rachel did not understand how her actions were affecting others, including the film. At one point, she posted, "May Trump's supporters never know peace" on social media, which only increased the backlash. Disney executives were furious because she was alienating a large portion of the potential audience. As a last resort, producer Mark Platt flew out to meet with Rachel twice. He convinced her to let Disney hire a social media expert to approve all her posts leading up to the movie's release. But by that time, the damage was already done. Just hours before Snow White hit theaters, Rachel posted on Instagram about her experience filming, calling it life-changing. She mentioned how much she loved working with the crew, but noticeably left out Gal Gadot. This made people wonder if it was another intentional snub.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, we cast a guy in the movie.
Another problem was Rachel's own attitude toward the original Snow White story. In a 2022 interview, she called the original 1937 film weird because of its romantic storyline. She mocked the idea of Snow White falling in love with Prince Charming, calling him a stalker. Fans of the original movie were upset that she was insulting the story she was supposed to honor. Many questioned why she even accepted the role if she disliked the original so much. And as always, would love to hear your thoughts as well, so make sure to write them down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more upcoming uploads.